This is a Headgum podcast.
1, 2, 3. Downside. You're listening to The Downside.
The Downside.
With Gianmarco Soresi.
You didn't tell anyone that you turned down the thing, right?
Re-ads?
Yeah.
No,
I feel like you were silent about it. You were it's good. It's moral.
Well, it was also just...
I'll spread the word for you.
Yeah, well, also, I was like, when everyone was talking about, like, the numbers they fucking turned down, I was like, like,
yeah. Are we taping? Great. No, it's fine.
Because I got the invite, and so long ago as well. Like, I'm pretty sure it was about 18 months ago I got it, because it was just, well, not just after, but it was like a while after the X tour, and in the whole Special X is me talking about rape and sexual assault.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, like, when they were like, do you want to come to the Riyadh Comedy Festival? I was like, I know what this is. Like, I'm very aware of what the tactic here is. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing it. And I'm fine with numbers. They offered me 80K, which is, I mean, a fucking shit ton of money.
Sure.
And then I go to my agent.
No, wait, but pause for a second.
Yeah.
It's good money.
Yeah.
I know touring, and I know the scale you're touring at. It's not like destroy the brand.
No, absolutely
In
not.
your mind, what percentage is morals and what percentage is brand protection?
50-50 probably.
Sure.
Probably 50. Like, a lot of the time, you know, sometimes I feel like you're not aware of your morals until after you do something.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you can say that you believe this one thing, but when you're given a quick decision to make, I think that's more true on your morals. The reason I arrived at the conclusion not to do this, and the same reason I arrived at the conclusion to do the Russell Brand documentary, was sitting there with myself and being like, right, what have you said before? What do people like you for? What is a big part of, like, what you've sold yourself as, and what integrity is involved in that? And, like, you know, for the Russell Brand documentary, I was told by everyone in my life not to.
Why? I mean, wasn't it pretty certain? I don't know a lot about the Russell Brand. He's a fan of his acting work, but no. But I just
not even acting. You know,
I just
comedy really.
Yeah.
It felt like the decision, the consensus was pretty strong against him. No.
Yes, but that doesn't. But there was, like, he'd very specifically, Russell Brand's switch from the left to the right wing.
It was crazy.
It's a purely tactical grift.
He's religious now, right?
Yes.
I don't even know how he does. I don't even know. I could not.
Yeah.
Make a career, certainly, of every time I went on stage, he's saying prayers, and he's quite loquacious. Is that the word? Right? He's really knows how to speak, and he knows how to, like, adapt the language, and he knows how to be very verbose in a way that sounds, and with the accent, with us Americans, we go, whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
But he's selling, like, fucking fake magnet necklaces and praying for Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. And this is a man who started his career talking about the dangers of late stage capitalism, how unfair it was that 1% of the population owned 50% of the wealth. He was a very big Jeremy Corbyn supporter in the UK. He was only ever spiritual, never religious. Would talk about how dangerous, like, organised religion is.
Did you ever like him?
No, he even if the allegations about him are false, he's still one of the worst things the UK comedy scene's ever produced.
Comedically.
He's an appalling stand-up.
Okay, sure. But you think that the whole thing was a grift? Like, do you think he has? Is there anything of maybe he has these leftist values and he's in trouble? He can't stay with that community.
Yes. So when he knew the allegations were coming out, and when he knew the documentary was, because it wasn't this documentary, there was another documentary that was meant to come out 5 years ago that got next for whatever reasons, and he knew that's when the sharks were fucking circling the blood, and that's, you can pinpoint the moment he knew. People talk about it, it's well known in the UK. Catherine Ryan called him out on the Comedy UK roast battles, and nothing's off limits, and Comedy Central UK were like, you cannot make any jokes about Russell's sexual history and his past, and Catherine Ryan called him out on stage, well, on the show. They obviously didn't fucking air that. I don't know if he handed all his money in or whatever, but he was just like, I'll just not, you know, I'll accept what that is, but just don't let this go any further. She then spoke about it on, like, a show that she did, was like a green room thing. She didn't say his name,
because in Britain you can get in there's the libel stuff is more. I always see those J.K. Rowling tweet apologies that are, like, brutal. They're like, good evening. Like the tweet is like, good evening.
Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion that the
things I
statements,
said.
and you're like,
Yeah.
it's humiliating.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't look good. It doesn't look like, oh wow, you are apologizing to that billionaire.
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
like a knife is at your throat.
No, your mum made you apologize to your sibling who you hit, and you're not sorry because they deserve to get hit. It's very much the, I'm sorry that I...
What's the law? What's different there in America? Because here I can say, fuck J.K.
Oh,
Rowling.
libel is huge in the UK. Like he's due in court next year for all the allegations, and so even saying like alleged whatever in the UK would still be enough to. I don't know if it wouldn't.
Are you going to testify in the court?
I got asked to, but no, because look, I don't know. I don't know for a fact about anything.
You just testified about what you had heard.
Well, my whole thing was like, if the allegations about him are true, of which there are many. And since the documentary came out, there have been many, many more allegations since that's, courage breeds courage.
Mm-hmm.
There were lots of people in the UK distancing themselves from him. People at Channel 4, people at BBC, his old management being like, we didn't know. And it's like, here are the facts. If I'm hearing the rumours about Russell Brand and I'm a nobody open spot when I'm 19 years old in these artist bars, if I'm hearing these rumours, everyone else is hearing these rumours. I'm hanging out with people who work at Channel 4 and BBC, and like all the people that can't stop him getting work are comedians. Like the best thing we can do is like not book him on a bill, but he's so famous at that point, so that's not going to do anything. There are so many execs who absolutely knew the rumours, and to be fair, they're rumours.
Sure,
but they did no investigations into them. The very few investigations that they did were like very rudimentary and basic. And his old manager went up, like there's a comedian called Finn Taylor. Finn Taylor.
Oh, of course, Finn Taylor. Finn versus History. I've sent videos. Yeah.
So Finn Taylor in like 2018, 19 is doing jokes about Russell Brand on stage. And Russell Brand's manager corners him backstage after a gig and is like, if you don't stop doing these jokes, we're going to sue you into oblivion.
Yeah.
Right? And since then, that manager has like apologised to Finn directly now that the it's all out there and everything. But it's a bunch of cowards distancing themselves in a way.
Was that manager? Is the manager a woman? Mm-hmm. Because I think I heard some episode of Finn something with breast milk and a dog.
Oh yeah, she breastfed a dog.
She breastfed a dog. Yeah.
It's a great clip. I'll clip it. But to get to the Russell Brand's tactical move to the right wing was also so he could get a conspiracy theory audience, because he needs a conspiracy theory audience so that when the mainstream media comes out and is like, look at all these things that people are saying, he can then pitch that as, this is because I'm a truth teller. And you need a conspiracy theory audience to back you up.
Yeah.
But that was one thing. Oh God, there was one thing with Louis that like a lot of people, everyone was very upset and also like betrayed. And they were like, oh, he's taking a right wing turn because he made one joke about the Parkland kid, and they were like, oh, he's taking a right wing turn. And it was like, okay, that's not true. If he were going to take a right wing turn, he could clean the fuck up. Like it was one of those things where it was like, no, these are edgy jokes that you liked in another context, and now you don't like the teller. So we don't need to engage in this as well. You can just focus on the thing you're upset about. But that's what Russell Brand did. That's a right wing. I just can't imagine. Do you think you could go on stage and with your charisma infuse it into Christian gobbledygook? Could you go?
How much?
I mean,
how
I know.
Much trouble am I in, or how much
$80,000 and one. I'll give it to you to give a sermon for Charlie Kirk, and go, wow, he was a real.
Yeah.
Well, because it's all, man, I do have a price. Like when I turned down the Riyadh thing to my agent, she replied 2 days later, being like, I reckon I can get them to double the offer, and I was like, please don't make me find where my breaking point is. Like, please. I was like, whatever the next offer is, don't even bring it to me, because I'm not a purely integral person. Of course.
Oh, of course.
My soul has a price, and I just don't want to know what that price. I would like to pretend to myself and convince myself that it's way higher than it actually is.
Welcome to The Downside. My name is Gianmarco Soresi. I'm here with Russell Daniels, my co-host.
Hi.
I've been saying I want to introduce more. This is Russell. He's my buddy. He's a sketch
I listen to
comedian,
the
Broadway
podcast.
performer. Oh, thank you. And I'm here with you.
But I
Daniel
listen for
Sloss.
Russell.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, yes, more and more, increasingly so. That seems to be the split. And we're here with amazing comedian Daniel Sloss, who's currently in New York.
Yes.
With your, is it actual working it out tour, or like it's kind of pretty much there and people go, wow, that was all new, and you're like, yay.
A lot of that, but like a lot of the work in progress thing is just like, so like the Russell Brand thing was, I'm talking about it a bit in the in the show, and like obviously it was a big deal in the UK, but you're like, how much does America actually know about this? How much does Germany know about this? How much does Europe know about this? How much does India?
Well, I think that's really interesting with some people that get accused. Just the way social media works, I think there are Chris D'Elia fans who do not know about the allegations because they're not chronically online. And so there's this weird thing where some people, some comedians, they don't even address it to begin with, because to address it is just to get the word out more that there's something wrong. Our whole system of public apologies, which was always so flawed to begin with, is...
I thought the Logan Paul one was really good.
The Suicide Forest?
Oh,
what did he say? I don't even remember.
I can't even remember what he said, but it's just like the bit. It's like you can tell it's the fourth take.
Oh,
You can tell the amount of times that, like, when we've done fucking self tapes or whatever, you're like, well, I'm gonna delete that one and do it again. And then he comes back and he's like, hi. I've been hung up a lot on the. Oh no, that's bad. I can't say that one. Let's delete.
Yeah.
Did it?
The past week has made me deeply suicidal. Fuck, shit. I love that.
Listen, I was a bad boy. I'm hanging it up. Come on, let's keep going.
Well, it's all hanging things.
I've been in the noose recently.
There we go. Keep going. News hang. Ty, listen, I've been a naughty boy.
Yeah.
Oh, naughty. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that one took longer.
I'm trying to buy you time.
And we don't want to go for low-hanging corpses.
Oh, okay. You guys are good. Nothing.
You can sing me off the stage so easily.
Oh yeah.
You were looking for a pun in there.
I know. I was like, I don't get that. I was like, yeah.
My brand of like ADHD autism is just the pattern recognition when it comes to actual any stage talent, especially musical stuff. I deeply want to. I went to musical camp when I was.
You went to musical camp?
Musical camp.
I went once every summer for 3 summers, and
like singing.
Yeah. Jesus Christ Superstar, The Pajama Game.
Oh my God, classics.
But I very quickly realised and discovered that I am borderline tone deaf.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you like in the ensemble?
Yes, but
they'd be like. At
one point we did one which was called Time Switch. It was like just the director of the theatre wrote, and it was like a kids version of like The Wizard of Oz, modern but on like the internet and stuff. And because I was confident and because I had stage presence, they would so desperately want to give me the leads. And the second I started singing, they were like, oh.
and really like.
Rap.
Can you sing? Pajama Game?
Yeah.
I've been reading a book about Fosse, so I'm very in Pajama Game right now. Just do it a couple notes.
The Pajama Game is the game I'm in now. I'm proud to be part of the whatever.
Some musicals have a narrator.
But my favorite thing is watching like a music director, like when we were that age, like try to figure out the nicest way.
Yeah.
Of first they're a little bit like, okay, and you can tell it's like usually a bass singing way too low and not right.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, let's bring you down a little bit, and they start there, and then it's like creating actions like, okay, actually we're gonna pick a few people who aren't gonna sing, but because we're gonna give them movements to do, and it's like it's so much movement.
Yeah.
It's too hard to do and sing, you know. And you just find creative ways.
You were a voice teacher. Was there anyone that you had to like let down?
But no, I was like a student teacher, so I never like had to like deal with it. Like you know what I mean? Like, it was
you
like
just had to get to the bell and then move on.
There
was no final presentation of
and
the
actually,
work.
I'll say like when I was doing it when I was at the middle school I did it, it was like a crazy music program, so it was like actually pretty good. It was not like I was surprised. It was better than my music program when I was
Sure.
I also couldn't. Like, it's anytime the reason they knew I was tone deaf was because like they would sing to me and they would sing in a higher pitch, and whenever I would sing in a higher pitch, I was just doing my impression of like a woman or what a 13-year-old me thought a woman sounded like, and it was. Horrific. I was made to rap any part that I was in. Like if I had
the future of musical theater, though. I mean, you Lin-Manuel could write something for you.
Yeah. And then
I didn't know you liked music. Like, did you?
No. So because of that and how deeply embarrassing it was to like constantly get rejected for things because people were too nice and just they weren't directly telling me, being like, "You'll never be able to sing." And then it really it culminated in like. I did TV when I was about 17 years old in the UK.
Yeah.
And you know what pantomime is, right?
Yeah.
Panto season in the UK. It's huge. It's mid-November to mid-January.
Yeah, tell us. We don't really do anything like. I mean, we have the Christmas Carol, but this is like.
But Panto in the UK is an institution. Doesn't matter where you are, anywhere in the country. That theatre will be putting on a 2-month Panto, and it'll be Puss in Boots, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, whatever thing it is.
And is it like is it Disney Snow White or is it based on the Grimm Brothers Snow White?
Based on well, it changes because it's based on the Grimm Brothers one, but there's the tropes all the way. There's a bunch of kids who are acting in it from the local school. It's a bunch of celebrities, local celebrities or real celebrities on their way down. The old joke in the UK is you do panto twice in your career, once on the way up and once on the way down.
Sure. Is this similar? Is this in the show Extras? Ricky Gervais he plays the gay genie.
Yes.
Okay.
So
that's
it's one of the big things of panto is the fairy godmother or the mother-in-law is always just a man in drag. It's always.
That's you. That's you, baby.
And so when I was about 17, I do this TV show, the Paul O'Grady show. R.I.P. to that hero. And he. Wimbledon is like one of the big pantos in the UK. Like it runs, it's big theatre, really like celebrity star-studded. They saw me and they were like, "Hey, we'd love to get you on to do the Wimbledon panto." And I was like, "Cool. I can't sing or dance. Like I did theatre for five years. I can project. I can tell jokes. I cannot sing and I cannot dance." And they were like, "Don't be so modest. That's fine. We'll stick you in. You're the comic relief." I get there. The other cast is Paul O'Grady, Pamela Anderson, David Hasselhoff.
Oh my God.
And Ryan Blessed, right? And I don't meet any of them because I'm part of like the sort of ensemble, and they're coming in like weeks later because there's after 2 days, the guy who's running the panel takes me aside and he's like, "Hey, you can't sing or dance." And I was like, "Yeah." Like I was so upfront about this from the start, and they were like, "We're so used to like people being modest and like underselling themselves, but like you at core level cannot do either of these things." And I was like, "Yeah, no." Like, but like here I am, and they were like, "We'll give you half of the money if you leave today."
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, did it hurt?
Or what?
I was devastated.
Or no money? If you put up a fight?
Like it was.
If you put up a fight, we'll have the public escort you from the theatre.
It was also like I was getting 10 grand for the 2 months, so I got 5 grand for 2 days' work. So in that side of things, it was exciting.
But like at your young age, was there any part of you that's like Jesus, or you like that's fine?
No, I was gutted. I was staying with my publicist at the time in London. I was going to be staying there for like 2 months.
Staying with your publicist?
He was a great guy.
Yeah, but just to go through that chaos, I'd go.
Yeah, and then like I told my girlfriend at the time, I'm like, I'll not be up for Christmas because they perform on Boxing Day and and Christmas Eve and everything. Like if I can't get up, it'll be
it's a lot of people to tell.
So many people I told,
Man.
and then straight back up the roads. And so like there was a long time where I was just like, I redirected the sort of the shame of just not being good at something to a hatred of
that.
That's how I feel about all athletics.
yeah. And then as I got older, people were pointing. They were like, South Park is a musical. I saw Book of Mormon. I was like, that's actually the case. And then I like all the.
There definitely is. It's
movies.
like the starter pack for getting your straight guys into musical theater. It's like Book of Mormon.
And then Great Showman I think is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And Les Mis I despise. Like anytime.
Sure.
Just like I just and this is. Please don't respect this opinion. I've been fired from musical theatre. So
yeah.
And I know you must be so bored of this, but musicals where it's even the exposition is singing can get fucked.
I also think
It's just a different style of a thing.
No, but I agree in this one because Les Mis has some good individual songs, but so much has to happen.
Yeah.
Like I remember I'd like know it when I was a kid, and I finally saw it as an adult, and I was like, this is too much stuff happening in like 10 minutes. It was like, because 17 years is covered in like the first 10 minutes. And you're like, this is too much happening in this. It just doesn't lend itself to it. And it's like, and the fact that half is like, you're like, okay.
I mean, it's an opera. It's an opera at the end of the day. That's what the opera, that all the songs are like, so you're going to the store.
No,
I can't process, and maybe this is just me thing, I can't process words in a song. Like, people will talk to me about songs and they're like, do you know that song's about this? I'm like, it's about what?
But I agree with that. I saw Rent with my mom, and after the first half, I didn't grasp that they had AIDS. And she was like, what do you mean? She was so confused. And I have the same thing where when it's sung,
even though they have the song "Everyone Has AIDS" in it.
They sang it and they rhymed it with maids and I truly, and my mom was like, it was one of those moments I felt like my mom was like, are you stupid? And I just can't take it in. So I do relate to that, and especially with Les Mis, or I just saw Evita and I ended up liking it, but I had to intermission like, what the fuck is going on? We're covering history through song.
Yeah, like if there's crucial information in the song and you're not going to like bring them out of the song to give me the verbal exposition of being like, I'm the king of France and you're this or whatever, can we please have subtitles?
A history teacher come in between. So here's what really happened.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. It's very weird to have to say to people in musicals, like, could you dumb this musical down for me? But like, that is what I need at some points.
Yeah.
Hamilton, too much information. What are you talking about? I know rap makes it more efficient, but I just feel it's a machine gun.
Yeah, I get it.
It's relentless.
And also, it is just kind of like history. So you're like, it's like
Hamilton. I don't know. I get easily swept up, but I understand the critiques of Hamilton.
Yeah.
Everyone's too cool in Hamilton. There's plenty of critiques about the lack of slavery mentioned at all in Hamilton.
Yeah.
I think they should have gone for it, because if you're going to make all the founding fathers black, I think you should have had slaves played purely by Russell and me, like the comic, the bumbling comic slaves.
Comic slaves.
Yeah, that would be good.
I don't know about that.
And also, slaves historically have all the best songs.
Yeah.
Like,
We've talked about that. Yeah.
Would we sing it in that style, or would
I
we
don't
sing
think
more like?
so. I think it would be something totally different. Like
White slaves, it would be horrible a cappella.
Yeah.
Like if it was,
Oh my
if it
God.
was white
Bad
slave
acapella.
music.
Yeah.
After sweeping
It's
musical
like a barbershop
orchestrations.
quartet.
Yeah.
Like about a bad
slave barbershop quartet.
Slavery would have ended so much quicker if that was the case, because it would just be like people being like, they have to shut the fuck up, man. They have to shut the fuck. I can't sleep. This is awful.
How is slavery talked about in what's the history of slavery in Europe? I know so much American history. Like, I know the American version of how slavery came to an end, and then how it didn't, and then indentured servitude and Jim Crow. What happened in Europe?
So it depends what part of Europe.
Yeah.
Portugal was where they were shipping all of the slaves from. That's why it's just that Portugal owned the seas. So like anyone that was coming around the Horn of Africa was stopping in Portugal for a bit. There was absolutely slavery there. There was other slaves were being sent over to the United States.
Yeah, when I say Europe, I mean Britain.
Oh, so Britain as well.
Yeah,
Man,
I was like, you're asking like of so many places. What's going on with slavery everywhere in Europe?
Russell, so when I was in Tokyo, I don't know if I told you, Tovah and I, we had this incredible, it's called omakase, where we had all these delicious,
Gianmarco,
like one at a time, the best.
Enough! Stop talking about your great meals in Japan, okay? I live in America. The food here stinks.
Russell, that's not true. You must not be eating Green Chef, because they cut through the noise as the trusted authority in clean eating, delivering only real farm-sourced ingredients. I only trust Green Chef with every bite because they have 40 clean, customizable weekly recipes designed to give me peace of mind.
What if I don't want to compromise, Gianmarco?
Well, then you go with Green Chef. They deliver certified organic produce and responsibly sourced proteins and seafood. That means avoiding ultra-processed fillers.
Wow. Is this backed by science?
Yeah. Reach your wellness goals with options like Mediterranean, high protein, high fiber, plant-based, and more. All clinically proven to support healthier habits.
Wow. Okay. Well, you convinced me, I'm ready to try it. It sounds great. Right now, go to greenchef.com/downsidegraza and use code downsidegraza to get started with 50% off Green Chef plus free Graza olive oil set in your second and third boxes. This 50% off offer is only available for a limited time, so don't wait. That's code downsidegraza at greenchef.com/downsidegraza.
You can tell the way that Russell sells Graza that he knows what he's talking about.
Oh, I love me some olive oil. I wish I was Italian.
Now do the Japanese version.
But how did it come to
just
an end?
quickly, under 30 seconds.
How did it come? I mean, it's like the Civil War is such a clear demarcation in American history, obviously. But what did
I think we were a bit before that. The British colonies were sort of dying famously about the times that you were getting your freedom. So all the colonies around that we used to own were sort of coming down naturally. There were a lot of slave revolts in other places, and there was also sort of a bit of like, up until the George Floyd 2020 riots, which also
is that recent?
They made the no. But that was we still had streets in Scotland and England named after rich people who we were like, oh, you're rich because you were you didn't necessarily own slaves, but you were part of the slave route. And all of these great men, we had the sort of revisionist thing where we were like, okay, like they were the millionaires of yesteryear and they've named themselves after a bunch of stuff, but now that we look at it with modern morals. And
But isn't that the whole royal family, though?
Don't get me fucking started on those pedo breeders. Like, we could be here all day.
There was something I saw online where Prince Andrew, who lost his every time he lost the 10th fucking thing, I'm like, how many fucking titles do you have? But now he can't even. They leaked a video where he, like, in exchange for some crypto company hiring his wife to do something, gave like a private free tour of the palace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the question was, did he get stripped of his titles because of that or the Jeffrey Epstein thing?
You'd imagine it's the Jeffrey, because look, the monarchy is learning the same lesson that Donald Trump is currently learning, which is like, you're just not getting rid of the Epstein thing.
Yeah,
like it just isn't going to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
away.
Trump's kicked I don't know. Trump, I said as like a fool, I said, I think this is the turning point.
Yeah, I don't think for people who support him, when it comes out, all the details of it.
So many details have come out, though.
I don't think it matters to.
I don't know. I don't understand how the nail in the coffin wasn't a doodle of a little kid with tits in a fucking.
A crazy scene.
A crazy scene.
Oh,
multiple crazy scenes he's written, like where they're these little love letters, like were scenes, little love scenes.
He would have been a great performer.
Sketch
just
comedy.
such a playwright.
He wanted to write little scenes.
Yeah,
he wanted
little vignettes.
Little vignettes. Yeah.
I picture him doing all these doodles like the character Jonah Hill is at the start of Superbad.
Oh,
he's just doodling dicks all the time. For me, that's what Trump's doing with underage images of little girls.
Oh my God!
But they're all so crude and rudimentary. I
wonder if once in a while he's doodling and his people are like, put that away, Donald, you cannot go back to doodling the buildings.
No more doodlings. Do you look at Americans that are like obsessed with the royal family? Like, what's their deal?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, it's always been bizarre to me.
But I also look at English people obsessed with the royal family in the same way, and Scottish people obsessed with the royal family.
At least. I don't know. If
you're people who like ritual.
If you're over
things.
there, it's like you could have been indoctrinated in a way that makes a little more sense than Americans being obsessed with it.
But for you, were your parents also fuck this shit too, or is that you?
No. My parents. I wouldn't say my mother's deeply she's more anti-monarchy now that they've covered up a literal pedophile for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course though, this is not the first pedophile. They just did a better job covering up the previous ones.
But no, like my mum's side of the family, like we would always, whenever there was a royal wedding, they would be like, let's all watch it together. But we would go and watch it the same way like a lot of people watch Eurovision. We were there for the spectacle and also to make fucking fun of it and to also just make it like a day of it. We weren't, thrilled that they were.
Do you remember when did you have any point where you looked at it with that it was like, was there a turning point in your growing up, your education?
Scottish. From such my dad, deeply anti-monarchist, and like from a young age, it was just like, this is outdated, this is dumb, we don't fucking respect it, absolutely not. Like,
I think it took me a little longer for like, I didn't grow up with the religious. Did you grow up with religion?
And yeah, kind of. Yeah, my family were religious. My dad was always an atheist. And then when
did he tell you he was an atheist? Like when you were a young kid, did something die and you asked?
Well, yeah. So my sister died when I was 7. And she was about 5 years old, and she had cerebral palsy. And so I think up until then, I'd sort of believed in God just in the way that you're always taught to sort of believe in God because it's in your family. And my mum was still religious. And after my sister died, my dad, he didn't say this directly, but the tone of the conversation he had with my mother was, you don't get to believe in God anymore. You don't get to sit there and say that unless you can tell me why an all-loving God would take away an innocent 5-year-old disabled girl, until you can justify that to me, and that God,
was at the dinner table.
No, look, they were grieving. My parents were very.
But like this was a like a dialogue that you witnessed, or you felt like that was.
My dad didn't go to the church ceremony. My dad refused to let me go to the church ceremony.
Oh my God!
He was like, I cannot fucking sit in a room full of people who are singing songs about this God who took away.
And it would be a Catholic funeral too.
It's sort of no, it probably would have been Protestant.
Oh, Protestant, but it's like the funeral isn't like necessarily like they're reading from the book.
No. But even then, just look, we still went to the burial and obviously part of it. But he was like, I physically cannot sit in a fucking room of lies where people sing songs about this great God who took.
How
away.
did you feel about it? You're 14?
I was 7.
You were 7.
Yeah,
my God.
Yeah. So I was on my dad's side pretty straight away because I was like, because that just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
She was like, I knew the concept of bad people. I knew the concept of like good people. A 5-year-old child with cerebral palsy is the most innocent person in the world, and there was just like, I was like, there's just no way. But
I just imagine. God, if I had a kid that young and anything tragic happened, how I would say. I mean, obviously your dad was so. He didn't have the time to go, well, how should I best share this?
Yeah. He was like, nah.
Do you look and wish it had been a little gentler? Did it feel harsh or did it feel appropriate to...
Oh, it felt super appropriate, but like there was, I think if you were to ask anyone who knew me in my teens, in my early 20s, I was the worst type of atheist.
Yeah.
Like I was like the neckbeard, the fedora. Well, like you're all dumb and I'm...
When would it come up? Would it be like someone sneeze, bless you?
I would bring it up at every fucking opportunity. Anyone that was... I have an uncle who's a minister. Like, religion was a big part, and I would get in trouble in school because I would, point out the fact that the Virgin Mary, it was not a virgin. It's a mistranslation in the Bible. I would know all these things that it just meant like a 13-year-old girl, and I'd be like,
so you were a biblically literate atheist.
Yeah, I would be like, Joseph was like 30, she was 13. Continue telling the story, and they were like, oh well, let's not. Come on now, let's not. So like, and then as I got like a bit older, and I encountered other religious people who weren't Christians, because like I hated Christianity because that's why I was exposed to the most.
Sure.
When I met a bunch of good Christians, and when I saw that for like many people that for a lot of people faith is an internal thing and it is just a personal thing and it was not something that they forced on the rest of the world, I was then sort of countered with the fact that like I did have a bit of jealousy. Like I believe that once we die nothing happens. I'm that bit. I sympathize with
the annoying atheists though, because I go yeah everyone says that they have this internal spiritual thing, and then the moment it intersects with like their views on what they want society to be, suddenly religion roars its ugly head again, and the belief system it acts as a framework for people to assemble and build a political force.
Yeah.
It's like, especially Christianity in America as it is now, it's like to be that atheist and be like, well, Jesus would say do this. It doesn't matter. It literally is just a framework for every Sunday there will be a gathering, and that's how we're going to build a society around it. There's no religion to it.
Yeah. It's like the Americans that are scared of whenever they talk about like Islam and the fundamental Islam people. I'm like, you are aware you have that, just the white version of it here. Like the stuff that's going on, because America is a deeply religious country. The UK, it's 50-50. Like, nobody really gives a toss anymore.
Well, it is deeply religious, but at the same time, it feels like, it's not like Trump's a Christian president.
Of course he is. That's what he says he is.
But it's insane. It's like, it's literally, it doesn't even feel like, it's so devoid. It doesn't feel like it's even appropriate to, because it's not.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about the Pope. They don't give a shit about the
Well,
Pope.
they do now that he's one of yours.
No, they don't. This Pope likes immigrants. This Pope speaks kindly towards immigrants and has criticized J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
And J.D. Vance, it's like it's also calculated that it's this thing where you don't know how many people actually are Russell Brand or Trump or J.D. Vance and how many people actually believe in it. And I don't know. I just feel like I understand the sympathetic side to like spirituality, whatever helps you. And then I look at how quickly it becomes this other thing the moment it feels like it intersects with the one. I mean, I felt the same way about like Judaism with Israel, where you see how immediately this thing of like spiritual connection becomes a means to gather political will and become racist and become Islamophobic. And so I don't trust the nice religion the way I may have in the past.
I still see enough of it across the when it's so easy to like as somebody who's not from America to like see what's going on in America. And then just have this idea of like, oh my God, they're all the dumbest people alive. They're all stupid. They're all angry. They're all this. And then every time I come over to America, regardless of where I go, I know I'm only in New York just now, but I do go to the South. I do go to the fucking
Where are you going?
I do fucking Atlanta. I do Texas. I do where else is in the fucking South?
There's a lot. There's a lot more than those two liberal.
Yeah.
And where in Texas? Austin.
No, Austin, Dallas, Houston.
Yeah. Same places I go.
Yeah. The liberal hubs. Yeah. But like I've meet the people that are like, and obviously, look, I'm getting a better version. I'm a white foreigner with a British accent.
Yeah.
So I'm always they're always excited to speak to me. But there is like
ICE isn't coming up on you at these shows.
No, I mean I was like to come over here this time because I'd heard so many comedians talking about immigration now, being like asked at the borders, do you have any jokes about the current
Trump,
about the presidency?
And that's real. You've had actual account. I mean, I hear the stories. But
I've heard. A friend of mine went through from Canada to America.
And they said, "Do you have any jokes about Trump?"
The current administration.
That's wild.
And what did they say?
They lied. They were just like no, and they were like okay, and they just said so. It wasn't too much in there.
What if it's yes? Can I hear them?
Yeah.
Maybe they're like, I'd love to hear some of this fucking crazy guy over here.
I did immigration this time through. If you fly to Dublin first, you can do American customs in Ireland.
Oh,
and then you just land. And you can just walk out. Because I was like, look, if I get detained in Dublin, great,
sure,
great.
We're both Celts. They're going to be like, show us the memes that meant you couldn't get into the country.
Yeah.
Like they're going to have a laugh about it. Whereas, I'm like, if I get stopped in an American one.
Yeah.
And I have a big dumb mouth. Also, that's where my integrity would go out the window. We were talking about it earlier. Like, I was so excited to be coming back to America to be performing in New York. I was like, if I were to do American customs, and like it was in America, and they were to be like, do you have any jokes about Trump? I'd be like, yeah, but if you take me to a private room with a picture of Trump, I'll Nazi saluted to get in the country as long as it's just between you and me. I was like, there's part of me being like, oh, how much like, because I love this country, I love performing here. It's a very big deal for me to every time I come to America. I'm like, this is exciting. I'm a Scottish comedian and I get to perform in America. I'll never not be grateful for that. At what point? How much am I willing to?
Yeah, it's also like it's you could argue like better just to lie to those people and then get to come to be in front of Americans and make jokes about an American president than not lie and
It was I'm going to India.
Yes.
And I'm doing an Asia run, and it really is this thing where it's like I want to make a joke. I want to make a joke, and you don't know until you're there what your standing is as an American, whatever. And like Istanbul, where we both have performed, it was one of those where my mom called me and my dad called me, and if they agree on anything, it's serious. And they were like, they were scared. They were scared. They read whatever about Turkey, and you get to Istanbul, and they're like, whatever you want at the club, Muslim prayer comes on, joke about it.
And
then
don't post it online.
That's what they said. Well, I had a great video. God, I had a great fucking video. And I went hard. I mean, if someone's singing a prayer behind me and the audience is laughing as I make fun of it, it's going to get bad. It's going to get rough.
Yeah.
Like when we were making fun of Jesus on the Patreon recently, I was like, we're even for the light Christian, we are going.
Did you meet the Turkish comic who was arrested?
I did.
Because his story's fucking wild.
Yeah, I think one of the jokes was Rumi. The joke was Rumi, the famous poet, who isn't even Turkish.
No.
And also it was assumed that he was gay, and he made a joke that Rumi, he had a roommate that was a guy.
Yeah.
Imagine that's the joke you'd go to jail for.
Yeah. And that's one person saw it, and then it was like that, and they went through the religious channels of it to, to talk to whatever their version of a priest is, to talk to the government, to talk to then get him in jail. India's a bit similar. Like the thing that's funny about gigging in Turkey is like the way to get an audience to tense up in Turkey isn't to talk about like sex education, or is to walk on stage and be like, I think Erdogan is, and just watch that audience go, do not finish that fucking sentence. Do not. It's the same with India, right? Look, amongst the people that you're with, of course you can criticize Modi. Yeah. Don't go on stage. And also a lot of the venues in I don't know where you're playing, a lot of them are historical buildings, they're cultural, and they're government buildings. So there's in
India.
Yes.
Well, but it's like I want, like the joke I did about Erdogan, I did, what I say, I said, people think Trump's going to run for a third term. Can you imagine having the same president for 12 years?
Great gag.
And it's like, I want, and it's like, I got to go to like fucking Singapore and like quickly learn the history enough to make a good fucking joke.
Yep.
But when you go to these places, every place that I'm like, ooh, as a comedian performed here, you usually one of the people has done it already. I want to perform somewhere that no one's ever done stand-up before, and unfortunately I don't think that's in the cards anymore. I feel like it's very Christopher Columbus Italian impulse.
Yeah.
But
I feel like a lot of South America's still there.
Yeah.
Like I know of the people I know that have done, because I look at it I look at South America being like, fucking one day just
people say to Brazil all the time.
Yeah.
And then I go to my agents and they go, it was the same with India. They go, there's no way to make money. They're not like, please. And then like with India, they sent me the initial and I was like, oh my God, 600 people?
Yeah.
600 people and that's it?
Yeah, because
that you're making?
Yeah, because it's also like you talk about the cost of living crisis over here.
Yeah.
Like in India, do you want to outprice your if comedy's for the people and it's for the working class people, you just have to be aware of how.
And I'll do it. I'll do it. It's more just like it's a long flight.
Yes.
But I'll lose. Listen, I will happily lose my nanny gig.
But you got to remember, everything about a new territory is you just accept that it's an investment between you and the audience. The first 3 years, you're realistically not going to make any money, but they're always excited that you're there. They're so grateful that you came to this place that very few artists come to.
Yes.
That when you come and you make it about them and you do well, the next time you go over, they've brought all their friends.
And I'll do it. I would love to. I think the only thing in my agent's defense is that, like, I remember they got me a gig for a Fish Festival, the band, and I'm like, it's no money. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And then it's like the night of the Fish Festival, the show ends, there's no car to take me back to my hotel, and I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. And then I call and I'm pissy. Yeah. And then they go, yeah. You say you're going to do it all, but I want to go to Brazil. They literally, they keep going. They go, it's as if it's impossible.
Yeah.
You haven't done Brazil yet?
No, yeah, I'm working.
Okay.
I'm currently working on Mexico and Buenos Aires and another two, but it's proving hard. There's also just like no money, and again, you don't want to outprice people, and it's such a long. I guess Mexico,
of course,
Mexico for me is like India for you, just in terms of where we are on the planet of going over.
In terms of don't drink the water.
Yeah. Oh, and really don't drink the water. You're going over with Dead
Ant.
Yeah, you'll be looked after thoroughly. Ravina will jump down your neck if you go near any water that she hasn't personally handled.
Yeah. People talk, because I get salads, and they're like, don't get salads because it's rinsed in the water.
Yeah.
What is this? One drop, and I'm shitting myself?
Yeah. Oh, you're going to.
I'm fine with that. I'm nervous about being on stage and it happening.
Yeah. Stock up. I don't know what your version of Imodium is, but like Imodium.
Dramamine. Yeah. I'll get something.
Whatever that
it's not Dramamine. It's Imodium.
Imodium. Okay.
It's good. It seals it. There's nothing great. Last time I was in India was about a month ago, and it wasn't till I got home 2 days later that my body was like, oh, by the way, here's all the diarrhea we were saving up. But for 4 days I felt like a fucking god. I was like, because I was eating a bunch of the foods, I was drinking a bunch of the cocktails, dancing with the devil every day. I was expecting to take every not only was every solid shit a blessing, every fart was a gambled that paid dividends. Everyone felt like I was cheating death. Every fart was like like a bullet just going past your fucking. I'm like, I can't believe I had the courage to. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
Trusting a fart at 1 p.m. in Bangalore.
Yeah.
Speaking of shows, new territory. I did a furry convention last night. Because I've got deep prejudice, I guess, unfounded prejudice.
Oh, more people do. I am surprised by some people's reaction to the furry community, and it makes me go, oh. So there's a lot of sensitivity around this thing, which. First of all, it doesn't take itself that seriously. There's a mix. It's not strict. There's people wearing Daft Punk outfits, and some people just have a tail, and some people are doing like a Beetlejuice version of a cat, and it's not like, it doesn't feel like occulty vibes. It feels like a fandom. I mean, it's called The Fandom, but it reminded me of going to the Fish Festival, where it's just like they like this thing, and it's a mix of like, some of them are incredible animators, a lot of them work in tech because they met on the internet, and then are some of them fucking asexual? Yeah, but so does people at Comic-Con and the Fish Festival, and so.
But it feels like it's ventured. It feels like it's a step further than cosplay in the direction.
It's different. So cosplay. So I learned so much. So cosplay is you dress up like a character.
Yes.
You know, it's literally it's some existing entity, and this is more about like the interaction or the expression of yourself as like an animal or a furry, because it's not like they're not walking around on all fours. You know, it is just it's just a different fascination with like. It feels nerdy in a way, but at the same time, like the ability some of them have to design these outfits or to make claws or duck feet or whatever, it didn't give the vibe of like, oh, this is all some big pervy festival, and they've been painted that way. They're famously, I guess, there was a CSI episode that in like I think 2004, and this is when CSI was like everyone was watching CSI, and I was in high school. You were probably just graduated grad school, and it was like someone died and it was a furry orgy, and there was like
and they brought in a sniffer dog and it was two people in furry suits.
Yeah. and like what they're saying is like, look, first of all, these suits cost like $15,000 to $20,000. They're not spraying semen loosely on this stuff, or like there is an element of that, but no more than with people, no more than with. So there is like this. There is joking about sex, and out of that came a group called Burnt Fur, which is like the alt-right, not the alt-right furry wing, and they're the ones who like they want no sexuality with the furries. They want it to be essentially not queer, which is crazy.
Yeah, but So
they want to be dressed in animal costumes.
Nazi wolves.
All straight people.
Yeah.
In animal costumes.
I don't think there's enough women in the fandom to sustain that vision. Yeah. But it's like it's or they don't, or they want the sex to like be like hidden because people have this negative association with it. They look at it and they go like, to me, it's as harmless as someone who's into a band or into just has a thing they're into, and the way they do it is they gather to hang out with like-minded people who enjoy this kind of radical acceptance and playing with costumes.
You're loosely describing Jeff Epstein's island there. People who've got similar interests, getting into it, just a community.
Exactly. And if the options are at Jeffrey Epstein's island, you put on a raccoon suit.
Okay.
And I don't know, but it's like, and they're so nice, and they made, because I want a fursuit. I want a fursuit for that. I want to perform it there again because it's fun. Yeah. It's like the crowd work is fun. These are all like kind of artistic people, and just.
When you're asking them what they do for a living, are they saying this is my job, or they're like, I like my balls and I piss on laptops?
No, so I'm sure there's some of them where you say hello and they go bark bark or whatever. Right, yeah. But for the most part,
that's that.
So, but by the way, they're doing it at the convention. I don't think it's like
in real life. They're out.
A lot of them are in the medical community, by the way. There's like a crossover with
coke addicts I know.
Sure, but I said I would love to be put at the end of my days when they pull the plug. It would be fun if they all put on a furry costume, put on some wings. That would feel nice.
But you think so? I haven't thought about it much.
Yeah, well, give it.
But
some
I was surprised. Someone in our life had a pretty strong reaction about the furry.
Yeah, I really like just a general like furries.
And I really had never thought of it too much, so I don't have an opinion on it.
Yeah. So where does your bias come from? Is this the religious upbringing speaking out all of a sudden? You thought you had overcome it?
No, but it was very much like I lean to the left in like most situations, but I despise the left wing because like they are the ongoing reason why the left doesn't win anything. And it's like sometimes the left is so easy for the right wing to parody and make fun of that we lose so many fucking arguments. Like, remember the old before?
I don't think they're saying can furry cheetahs compete in human sports.
No,
I don't think like I that's what I think is the idea that like furries are
Want to be like that in real life.
I don't think furries are hurting the movement of LGBT issues.
But before gay marriage was legal in this country, before it was legal in Scotland, and we did it first, by the way, not to brag.
Feel free.
Yeah.
Believe me, you're not going to get us up in arms about America.
One of the fucking tropes that the Christian right would use to sort of try and get rid of the idea of gay marriage would be like, what's next? This is what the left does. And they're going to want to start fucking dogs. And you're like, what a stupid argument. And then the furry community comes along and you're like, right, so you are all fucking dogs.
No, they're fucking humans in dog costumes.
That's if you're a grown person who dresses in diapers
I know,
and the baby thing,
but
that's
per your earlier point, per your earlier point about
Like-
Jeffrey Epstein, you got priests fucking little boys. It doesn't matter what it is. There will always be something to
a lightning rod for them to go after. Yeah,
and if it's not, I mean, it's if it's not trans women playing women's sports, it'll be trans women in bathrooms. If it's not that, it will never go away. This particular sect of right wingers, they cannot exist without something to hate. What's easier to defend than some adults putting on dog suits and fucking in a hotel room? They're not. Maybe there's a handful, but in general, I think the fandom, as they call themselves, there is a. This is why the burnt fur arose. There's a thing of like, guys, we can't be too weird. Because if we're too weird, then we are the conservative lightning rod. And I think the irony of the burnt fur is like, okay, you thought it was just the fucking we thought was weird? Like, there's other things too. But it's so like even when I was doing like the crowd work, like obviously at some point it got to sexual stuff, and they do engage with sexual things. And some of them joke like, you're taking us back, we're going back to the CSI days. But the bottom line is like, I think a healthy society allows people to explore kinks that, or kinks or worlds, whatever, LARPing, anything. And ultimately, I don't think the people that said, well, if you let gay people marry, they're going to let someone marry a dog, were actually worried about someone marrying a dog. I think they didn't want gay people to be married. So that's why, I don't know, I just look at it like it's like there's a big overlap with the queer community and with the nerd community and just people who society, it didn't fit what they felt. And I feel drawn to it. I feel a sympathy or wanting to defend it.
Yeah,
if it's like defending weirdness. Yeah. Even if I'm not participating.
My old prejudice against it was, they came from being younger. So there's just something, and maybe it's because I'm too fucking vanilla. Yeah. I like missionary sex is great. I never want to.
So you do no doggy style, so that's too close to furries.
No, I like and sniff butt. There's stuff adjacent in there.
Yeah.
No, but maybe I'm just a bit of a fucking plagian. Also, I'm very lucky to have always been very comfortable in who I am. I guess I've just never had that. I've never had that queer struggle of, I don't feel like there's a place in society for me.
Yeah.
I've always grown up having a place for that.
I used to until I saw these drawings of me as a wolf and me as a cat, and I said, "Now, Russell, you think I'm a cat?" They thought I was a flamingo.
I think you're a cat.
More than a flamingo?
No, flamingo. Have you seen your fucking knees and the way your legs work? You're a flamingo.
I mean, I just don't have between those two.
Also, the cat. I love you dearly, Gianmarco. Cats have a casualness to their relationships with other people, where they're like, "Oh, I'm not interested."
As opposed to a flamingo, what's a flamingo relationship to people?
It's very presentational. It like to be seen.
They don't need to stand on one fucking leg. They're doing that.
Yeah,
to
they're
all doing that to show
off. Like they don't need to. That's.
I just want a tail.
They're doing that to fuck with giraffes.
Yeah.
Well, they combine animals. So there's like a fox wolf, a fulf.
A wolf. That's not combining animals. That's just surely that's just like the missing link between two of those.
You think so? Evolutionarily, there's a fulf?
Yeah, they gotta be.
Gotta be.
Yeah, they're all from the same.
If I could be a
all dog
flamingo
things
with a
come from-
tail, I think that would be cool.
Do it.
What would you be? Gun to your head right now. What's your persona?
Oh, a turtle.
A turtle.
Yeah. So if
By the way, that came really fast. You didn't have to
Yeah.
think about it at all.
No, but if I was, because then if I wasn't enjoying myself at the convention, I would just go into my shell. That would be a very metaphorical thing for me.
Yeah.
I would just pretend myself in there, and then like peek out occasionally and be like, this isn't so scary. Maybe I will. And then I go along, and then two of them would hit me, and I go straight back in my fucking.
You're actually shy?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm shy. We first hung out. I mean, I went to your house. I did your podcast.
Yes.
But you felt like you reached out to me in a way that I would be too just anxious. You are social, at least from my perspective.
Oh,
you're confident.
I can be.
Were you ever a dick in your rise to success?
And I will consistently thank the Stand Comedy Club and the staff there from this. So I started at the Stand Comedy Club in Edinburgh, and would do their Glasgow shows occasionally. I was like 17. They would let me in. They were great. My first paid gigs were there.
Yeah.
They always looked after me. And then I got incremental small bits of success in the UK, and then I think I was about like 21 or 22. I was marginally successful. I was certainly quite successful in Scotland. I think I'd done like my first Conan spot at this point as well, so it just all gone to my head. And I think like one of the staff members at the Stand one night, like after everyone had left, just came backstage and was like, "Hey, just to let you know, we all think you're a dick now." Like, they were just like, "You've always been like really nice and sweet, and then I don't know what's happened to you in like the past couple of years, but you're a bit shit, you're a bit rude to the staff now, you're a bit up your own arse, so it would just be remiss of me if I didn't tell you." And that fucking
wow
rushed me. But in like a really, but he wasn't saying it aggressively, he wasn't saying it was an attack on my character. It wasn't an attack on my character, it was an attack on who I would, like the masks I was trying on.
And then he was like, "And you really can't sing or dance."
Kick me when I'm down. And do you think were you being snippier? Were you being? I was big. I was look fucking fame. However small it is, like when it comes in at points, it fucks with your head. Like it's back in the days before like social media was what made you, before the algorithm made you famous. It was like certain TV shows in the UK made you famous, certain TV shows in America made you famous. There were sort of like more knowable milestones on the path to becoming a successful comedian, and I early on in my career fucking raced through a bunch of them. So like my arrogance and my hubris in my young youth was just like, oh well, I'll just continue. If I continue accelerating at this pace, I'll just be the greatest ever. So I might as well act like that now and put less work in. Like, and also
so young. You're so young, Mike. And that is so
17
early.
Ignoring all the and forgetting all the things that like a big part of my success wasn't how talented I was. It was the people around me at the Stand Comedy Club who kept giving me spots. It was the other older comedians who would drive me to gigs and give me advice. And like when I was being a piece of shit, I was like, well, I don't need any of this other stuff anymore.
Would you have a temper? Were you a yeller?
No. Only ever to my agent, and only ever because she literally asked for it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was one of my ex tour when I was losing my mind. The biggest mistake of her fucking career was she was like, "I know you blame me for like a lot of where you're at mentally now," because it was her fault, because I was on the road constantly.
Yeah.
And her job as a manager isn't just to make sure I'm working all the time, it's to give me enough space and time to recover.
Yeah.
And she drastically failed in that department at the time, and we were on a train somewhere in fucking Germany, and she was like, if you want, like, I know you resent me for this, if you want, just until the end of the tour, you can just use me as a punching bag. And I fucking let her have it.
I would love if my manager would let me do that.
No, it was really bad. Like, afterwards I ended up going to like therapy.
My manager is my girlfriend.
Oh yes, of course. Tovah. Yeah, and then after the tour I went to therapy, and I really owned my part in it, and I apologized to her and all the things I said, because I've been with my manager since I was 17. I know exactly how to cut her. The
oh yeah
yeah absolutely. People the longest in your life is the ones who how to hurt the most.
Oh God.
Deeply. And the reason it hurts is because there's always like 10 or 20% truth to it. Yeah, I said some really vile things.
And you say them. I used to I feel like it went away. I used to, like, when in my head I was like, oh, I know what I'd say if I ever really wanted. And it's only my father that I've ever like guts said the worst thing I could possibly say.
It never having on occasion, like, actually in the heat of the moment with the fucking stress of everything, said those horrible cutting things that in your head you play in your head on the shower for months afterwards.
Yeah.
They suck to say. They suck to say.
Well, what's the worst part? I left it as a voicemail, and I don't. I mean, he crossed the line, and by the way, my dad, like, he does it. That's his MO. He gets mad. He says the worst. I mean, it's bad, bad, just crazy, and then starts talking like. It starts getting, you feel that Catholic upbringing comes in, because like when he used to write my mom emails, it'd be like, you are evil and evil will be overcome, and you're like, you are talking religiously now, I want it. So I don't even know if he listened to the voicemail truly. No. And by the way, I don't think he's the kind. I think he lives in a world where that stuff does wash off him, because he is so temperamental. I do think he understands. That
it came from a heightened moment as opposed to a long-going place of resentment.
Yeah,
which is a lie to himself, deep down, if he thinks about it.
Maybe. I think his memory's really bad. Yeah. This is the one time that the memory being bad is worth it.
Yeah.
But he said something about like an ex that I was still really broken up over.
Oh, you're
it was basically because he was like, I wasn't visiting home or whatever, and it was something like, this is why she left you, because you're like this, like you, like completely.
Oof, from a divorced dad is wild.
I mean, it was, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
There's no rational, there's no logic, and there was something like some voicemail after that, something about his dead mom. Like something about like she would be ashamed of you, and it was rough.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
But I don't even know if he heard it. So I don't know if I still got it in the chamber for the next big fight, or if he's gonna be like, write some new material, son.
I've seen this one.
Because Russell has Russell. You can be
anger
so cruel, and you are articulate in your anger, and the only one who knows it, I think, are his good friends, who he gets a text of him criticizing something.
Yeah.
But like, you have it in you. It drives me nuts. Because I want him to do it.
Not never.
I'll hear it someday. This relationship will.
But I'm not. I can say it in those things when I'm in it. And it's never usually with the person. I don't feel it when I'm with the person.
But he's got a wicked mind.
And then, but I do. So part of it is just saying it out loud, saying that thing.
Yeah, but it's so well crafted. It would make me think that you
if I ever get to a place with like resentment, or like where I'm like really like not liking someone, and it's like I'm in those kind of fights in my head, I'm not a conflict person, but I withdraw. I find ways to like remove that from my life and not being around it.
Are you do you do fake conversations when you're alone, or fake interviews?
Yeah, but really specific ones.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me one.
Well, whenever
humiliating.
Whenever I used to play FIFA a lot, like I would take breaks between the games to interview myself as the manager of the team. And let me tell you, some of my players were very publicly admonished for their lack of vision. I'm going to be honest with you, at times it felt like a lack of commitment to the club.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because I can see their stats, what they should be shooting, and when they were in the fucking game, they weren't acting like they had 99 pace. and I would be very, very critical of them in my games.
So you have 2 kids.
Yes.
Yeah. Miss them?
Deeply. So much. Yeah. This has been the longest I've been away from my daughter since she was born.
And I met your daughter. Was
You
your
met her when she was fucking fresh. She was like 5 days old. Yeah.
And then how old's your son?
He's 3.5.
3.5.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I remember both.
Yeah.
How have you noticed any shifts in your views on things now that you have kids? You becoming more conservative? You becoming more protective?
More protective, but a bit more like, I guess a weird thing to say, a bit less like serious. Like, stand-up comedy used to be the most important thing in the world to me since I was like 16. It was so it was so important to me to like be considered one of the best in stand-up, which is such an arbitrary goal, because to be the best,
You have to be born in America.
of course, I mean statistically, yeah. But also to be the best at a fucking art form, like subjective art form, is very, very difficult. Like
I'd be one of the greats.
Yeah.
One of the greats.
But like that hunger was really good for a couple of years, and it's what gave me the drive to sort of tour relentlessly and keep writing shows, and it certainly added to my ability, but then but I also added to my mental health issues. Like it being my focus means I was never home. I was traveling. I was deeply sad at points. And then now, I've got kids.
Right now my life is in that part.
Yeah, and man, enjoy it. The hunger's great.
Oh, but also the deeply sad.
Yeah. There's a time to to turn it off, and kids are just like a really good natural break, and it makes me appreciate stand-up so much more than I ever did before.
How so? Sell me on kids.
Because now, if I used to fucking bomb at a gig or have shit, like other comedians' opinions or what I thought they thought of me meant so fucking much to me, because like after the gig I would go home and I would think about the gig and I would think about what I could have done better, and then on the train home or the flight home the next day I'd be listening to my set the entire time, and I'd be on social media and looking through like, oh my god, this person's bigger than me, this and this, and then I have kids and like I bomb and I'm like, fucking my son still thinks I'm the best, and his opinion, my daughter's opinion, my wife's opinion are now the most important opinions to me.
Rank them.
Wife. Wife, son, daughter. It is in the order I met them.
Yeah.
It's in the order I met them, and the order I want to fuck them. If I had to,
It's true. I can't think of a better. It's not great. You're hoping for your first choice,
No, my wife's opinion is very, because also like my wife's opinion is very important to me, because my wife loves me way more than I love me, and my son and my daughter love me way more than I love myself, and I'm just like, I'm outnumbered. So any like this fucking self-doubt that I have now when I'm on the road, when I'm away, and every night after the show the self-doubt kicks in of like, oh my god, do I still have a career? Do I still have a future in this? Like, am I as good as I used to be? Was I ever fucking good? That's got time to set in when I'm in like New York. But man, when I get home, wife asks me about the gig. She's like, cool, okay. And then we and my son wakes up in the morning and he's so happy to
I think I'm working on getting more. I have to be more accepting that my girlfriend is not going to think I'm the funniest. It's like those days are far. Sometimes we'll be in conversation and I'll tell a joke that she will not, and the person we're with will be laughing. And I want to be like, you see? Yeah. You fucking see?
Yeah.
It is funny. You're totally biased against me. That was a great joke. And it's like,
my wife does this, I don't know if you get it, but in conversation I'll say something funny and she'll be like, how long have you been thinking of that? How long have you been sat in that one for? And I'm like, can you just accept I'm talented? But she does. She knows. She's.
Yeah, but it's just different. It's just you don't laugh. There's a lot. I understand why. I don't know what I envision in my head, that every time we talk, she's just like laughing her ass off throughout the day.
Well, because that's what she used to be fucking like back when my wife, but back when she wasn't promised my dick for the rest of her life. Right. And even though she knew deep down, and she always knew she could probably fuck me, there was still that bit in courtship where she knew how important like my ego was to like my happiness and everything. Yeah. And she would do that, and it would make me more pliable. Whereas now, happily married, 2 kids, love it anyway.
You did a wedding like a traditional. You did vows.
No.
Really?
Oh yeah, we did like joke ones. Like,
Okay, so you did a funny.
yeah, we did like joke ones.
Did you feel pressure as a well-known storyteller, comedian to like really nail it?
Yeah.
So one of my biggest regrets of my wedding day was that I didn't write down a speech, because like there's one of my best friends in the world, Nick Cody. I went to his wedding fucking 10 years ago, and when he was asked to do a speech, he just got up and he was very complimentary about his wife, obviously, and his whole stance was like, if you can't off the cuff for 5 minutes talk about how much you love the person you just married, maybe you shouldn't have gotten married to him in the first
Oh,
place.
don't say that. That's a poison thing to say.
And it seeped into my head. And I was like, that's so.
It's also maybe not going to be the most interesting or like specific thing. It's just going to be kind of. It could be kind of like a mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wrote nothing. I stood up. I mean, I can say compliments about my wife. Also,
Of course, but it's.
My wife hates compliments. She doesn't like. She's a big no on. If I was to do it properly, so we're going to renew our vows when we're just going to do a 5-year wedding anniversary and just have another big party again.
Sure.
And one of the big things for me is like I want to write the speech that I should have done then. But that speech will be 95% a roast of my wife, because she deeply does not like the thought of anyone standing on stage saying nice things about her. That just makes her uncomfortable. She doesn't have that type of self-doubt. She's not like me. She didn't need 19 compliments a day to not hate themselves. Like I told my wife when we first started dating, like and we were falling in love together, I would just get to be really like verbose and explore my emotions and tell her how deeply I loved her in 1,000 different ways. And she just clearly like fucking saved all those monologues, because now when I'm like, hey, I love you so much, she's like, yeah, no. What are you doing? Like I'm so aware of how much you love me. Say something you've never said before, and what that normally is a fucked up thing that's going to make me laugh. Now that you know me, what's the funny way you can hurt my feelings or push me in this direction? Stuff. Whereas I'm the opposite. I'm like, tell me you love me every day.
Sure,
please.
Sure. Did she deliver on that vow? Did she write something?
She did. Her one was for me was one of her vows was, and she absolutely did not stick to it, which was her vow was, I promise to stop saying no you don't anytime you say I love you. Because I would just be like, I love you. She was like, no you don't, because I say it so much to her. I say it all the time. And it probably comes from a place of like anxiety or whatever, and an anxiety that she clearly just doesn't have. Like, I mean, look, one of the things I love about my wife is just clearly how much she knows I love her. I think it's very nice to not. It must be so much more relaxing to be my wife's husband than it is to be my wife.
Sure. Tovah's different. We're saying we both have that. If I did vows unprepared, the rest of the wedding isn't.
Also,
I don't recommend it.
Public intimacy is so like it really makes me uncomfortable. Even as someone who's like an actor, I think I'm even more comfortable.
You should have done it in character,
doing it than witnessing it. Like watching people give speeches to each other and wedding. Look, I was at a baby shower this weekend, and also it's not like a big performance venue. It's in a New York City apartment, and there's people giving emotional speeches, and we're all
at a fucking baby shower.
We're all at this circle, and I'm like, this is so intimate. Like I'm like trying to look, and all your head can do, is create bits in your head off of what people are saying, and that's not a healthy thing. Everyone there's being so genuine, and they have tears in their eyes, and all I'm doing is like, ooh, this is so intimate, and I'm just like having jokes come to my head, which is not.
But would they go in a circle to say how much they love the baby?
No, it was like the people hosting the baby shower said nice things about the two parents. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that many speeches.
And you didn't make a speech?
No, I wasn't the host. I just was at the party. You know, I'm getting stressed just thinking.
Congratulations, the baby. Yeah. I hope he makes it to full term. No,
but it was all lovely. It's just that thing where recognize, oh, why is this making me so like?
I know in
like,
my
why
head-
am I making jokes about this?
Yeah.
This is fine. It's fine. You know,
If I have to
Nothing's
speak
wrong
in
here.
any way on stage, I just enter a space. I went to Natalie Palamides' show.
Yes,
I saw
Weir.
Weir.
Yeah.
And she used me for one section where the audience says something.
Yeah.
And, you know, immediately in my head, it's like I know, first of all, I know not to like perform. I know to be like a real person, but at the same time, I'm immediately in a different space. And I'm leaving a voicemail in this scenario. You've seen it?
No, I've not seen this new one.
Yeah, it's some like there's a scenario to it, and like the first line gets a big pop, and then I say a second tag that doesn't do as well, and I'm sitting there like,
I fucked up the show.
and I know, I'm not like mad, I'm not like losing it, but I'm like in my head, I keep going, you should have said this instead,
Yeah.
and I'm there, I have changed from audience to performer, and there's so much about like a vow thing where I know, like as an actor, I'll be like, did I cry?
I know.
I can't pretend it's in there. I cannot take it out of my fucking brain.
Yeah.
Oh God. What were your vows to Nicole? Were they funny?
Not really. We wrote them out. We
married?
I am. Yeah. We like planned with our friend who did the ceremony. We like met with him and kind of like he helped us like shape it. So it was like, because also that's the thing. You've been to weddings where sometimes the woman gets up there and she speaks for 5 minutes, and then the guy gets up and it's like 10 seconds long. So we want to avoid a situation where it's balanced and feels like. So he helped us kind of structure them and do a thing to it. I have them still, and she has mine. We printed them out, but I don't think too many jokes. A few, but not too many.
Yeah. No swings. No big swings.
No big swings.
No accents.
No, it was just kind of genuine.
Yeah. That's why I don't remember them.
Yeah.
So how's let me just say real quick, this is the downside. We talk negatives and complain. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/downside, 4 bonus episodes every month. And especially when I go to India and Asia and Australia, that's how you're going to get to know the up-to-date stuff. Joining the Patreon, patreon.com/downside. So you're in New York.
Yes.
What's this tour, was it called Bitter?
It's
Before that?
going to be called Bitter.
It's going to be called Bitter.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we might. The show's sort of changed enough that I might change the title of it. But every show I do is just a one-word title. Has been since my third or fourth show.
Do you feel like I've referenced not X like directly, but like how I view like shows with a thesis.
Yeah.
And I think my like problem with theses, like comedically, is because I look at any thesis and I go, I want to poke a hole in any thesis.
Which you can.
And so of course. And it's more like sometimes like a conclusion, and I'm just curious, like sometimes a conclusion to a piece of art. I think a good movie, you go like, when people go, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy? You want to be like, well, you're a child, and you should like experience a story, and no, one battle after another didn't like indict leftist ideology. It was just a story about one particular movement.
Yeah,
you fucking child.
I've not seen it yet, but I'm very excited now.
It's a fun movie, but it's like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like, if I were making a caricature of like X, it'd be like, and in conclusion, guys, we got to do better.
Yeah.
And like, what do you ever look at your old like conclusion? Like that's just the whole. It's like to wrap things up. I almost like, part of the reason I even like gravitate towards comedies. I'm like it's all shit. Like my thesis every show would be like, and it's all shit, and I'm full of shit, and you're full of shit,
and I'm a dumbass,
and I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, man. Oh, look, I have deep, complicated feelings about X. Anyway, I also hate everything I've ever done. But yeah,
as any artist should. Yeah. And by the way, this is certainly not to critique. I mean, truly, it is not to critique. Like, say it's bad.
No.
It's more just like, do you ever grapple with like what the conclusion is?
And I didn't like that when I reflect on like X, because the big thing for me with X was just like we were so blindsided, but like this guy who was our friend was capable of this, and it felt like something.
So, I don't know if Russell knows it. What the
I know.
Yeah. So it was just like I didn't want, and like in my head, like most men, I'm like, well, I'm one of like the good guys. So if I was blindly unaware of this guy speaking to like other men and stuff, especially when we were doing the previews of the show, I was like, oh, that's the best thing I could sort of get, because I don't want to yell at men, because it's not every man's problem or fault, and like also yelling at men achieves nothing. But I was like, if I can just make
X was originally called Nanette.
Yeah, Manette.
Manette. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, now ever since X, I've like the 2 shows afterwards, I was like, I'm just doing stand up here, no conclusion. And especially with this show, I don't think I'll ever do it again, because I am sort of unsatisfied with the overall. The way I did. I mean, look, I think any piece of work that any of us have ever done, if we were to revisit our own work with modern eyes, we would do it in 1,000 different ways.
Of course. I think it's just like, and I feel like I've been trying to ask myself more harshly as I flirt with political, like, being at a rally or talking about like Riyadh. And I feel like when I reflect on like some of it and I go like, okay, you're being a little holier than thou. While at the same time, I'm like, well, I do think fuck some of these people. Like I get insecure, of course, and I go like, in a moment, I'm like, well, yeah, maybe it's you talk to Donald Trump, and then I go, no, I don't think having Trump on I do have values, and then like, I don't know, it's just whether you ever feel like you've been holier than thou, or how you like.
There was a big bit of X where I was like, which was again why I don't think I would ever do it again. Because just also not realizing when we did X that 90-second clip from X was going to go viral every single time.
Which was it?
There's a 90-second clip from X, which is just the least funny part of X, which is just me talking about the statistics of like what it is to be a woman and how important it is for men to call out other,
And they cut out the part at the end where you go, not.
Yeah. The big callback as well. Yeah. That clip from X goes viral once a month somewhere in the world, because anytime anything bad happens to a woman anywhere, which I don't need to tell you is quite regular, that clip goes viral there, and it's just I can't imagine what the public perspective of me is when the number one clip of me out there is just me unfunnily lecturing men on sexual assault. I'm like, that's not the fucking brand. Only the men listening to this knew how deeply misogynistic I was. I'm a fan of it all.
And the clip of it all, it's just like the whole with comedy, it's like you brought him in comedically, and then you do just 90 seconds worth.
Yeah, and that's the. I mean, look, maybe it's a testament to how shit the stand-up is in the rest of X. That's the only bit that people were like.
This was the best jokes of the entire thing.
This is the best bit. But
I think it was just this where it just stuck with me. It was like a woman. She was her 60th birthday, and she came up to me in Philly and she said, "Thank you for not doing Riyadh." And I was like, first of all, I wasn't invited. Second of all, it's like, if your fandom or your like of my work is based on morality, my whole stand-up, the desire for my stand-up is to like, just say everything's full of shit and like make jokes and not be a moral standard. And so, but it's nervous. It's like the thing where, even when I talk about like the first thing where it's like, I go there and it's like, I think, some of these are maybe young queer kids or whatever, and I want to be like loving and sweet, while at the same time I don't want it to feel like, hey, you go to Gianmarco stand-up to go feel good. It's just a weird thing. I feel like that was a particular thing of like, I'm sure people like you because they go, he's one of the good ones. And they don't mean comedian. And then the hope is you bring him there and then you make a joke or whatever. But I feel like every comedian struggles with that. I mean, I feel honestly like that was the conversation around Matt Rife, which feels like a more like it's a different slant of it. But he was like, people liked him for his looks, and he was like, how do I cure a black eye joke right out the gate? I fucking hate you.
Well, I do find myself now, like, because it's like this show I'm doing now, there is much more jokes about sex and I would say ironic sex is very tongue-in-cheek because my audience is predominantly women, and I think a comedian has an obligation to challenge the audience that is in front of them directly.
Yes, I agree.
Not just the audience out there. I think it takes zero skill for a right-wing comedian to stand on stage and say a bunch of right-wing things, and I think it takes zero fucking skill for a left-wing comedian to stand on stage and say a bunch of stuff that we already fucking agree with.
I was going to say this because I'm not putting this part online for sure. I have a joke. It's a Charlie Kirk related thing.
Yeah.
And again, like it's like leftist, but I'm trying. I hope it has an angle that makes people, but then the problem is you don't want necessarily your goal to be, I'm going to just challenge you. It has to be funny, but
that's devil's advocate shit, and that's pointless.
Yeah, but it's but at the beginning of this, I go, Trump said something after Charlie Kirk got shot, and the room burst into applause. And then I said, okay, I do my thing, and then I start it back up, burst into applause again. And then the third time I leaned into it, I said, well, when Charlie Kirk, and we have fun with it. But that's the level of like everyone on the same page in this that is almost impossible to escape. I mean, certainly at a furry convention, but like more so like having a fan base based on the algorithm. Like algorithm, the algorithm and the consolidation of fan bases, which have made people get kind of more exactly of what they want, has altered art, particularly stand-up, which is so based on feedback. Like it is huge.
Yeah.
And for you, I'm sure it happened sooner than the algorithm because you had that level of fame and notoriety. But now, even with smaller, the algorithm brings the people who agree with to you, and that changes the dynamic. And I would also say to the negative with some of these right-winger comics who some of them were funny, I think.
Yeah.
And I go like, we're both dealing with similar situations of like, can we maintain our comedic spine amidst a weird feedback where people increasingly like a particular side of us?
Yeah.
And it's tough.
Yeah. It's very difficult. And then also just, it's, even comedy, this is so boring, but even comedy's become like super polarized. And I'm very guilty of it and have been guilty of it in the past. But like, there is part of you that goes, I would really like and I love when my stand-up speaks to people on the right wing.
Sure.
Like I think that's obviously not the fucking the far right, but I also don't like when my comedy speaks to the far left either. I think
Sure.
These jokes should be funny enough that both the sensible people on both sides should be able to see the joke in there and the subversion, and hopefully just get it. So look, when I've got 66% women in my crowds, I'm like, ladies, it's time for a bit of sexism. And it's not. No, it's not. It's not real and genuine, but it's the sort of banner that I have with my wife.
I say on stage all the time, I have misogynistic jokes because I live with a woman.
Yeah.
If I lived with a man, I'd have even more.
Yeah.
Let's go on to our next segment. This has got to stop.
This has got to stop.
This is where we say something has to come to an end. Big, small, personal, private. If you join the Patreon, you get to submit your own This Has Got to Stop. Today's patron submitted This Got to Stop is from Jack. This has got to stop. Having to buy couples an engagement gift. This is news to me, Jack. This union isn't legally enforceable yet, and you're expecting a gift right off the bat? Yeah. Do you want to tempt fate? What if you break up? Do I get this ceramic water pitcher back? It's not that expensive of a gift, Jack. I don't want it. Let me watch you walk down the aisle and sign the contract or whatever it is you have to do, and then I'm happy to give you some of my hard-earned money. Just a wedding gift, no engagement gifts.
I'm against wedding gifts.
Yeah.
I'm not giving everyone that gets engaged gifts.
Yeah, Jack, I think whatever community you're a part of, you're going above and beyond.
Yeah.
This has got to start so it can stop.
Yeah, if you have friends that are asking you for engagement presents,
gifts.
like say RSVP no to that fucking wedding.
I guess maybe they're having an engagement party and then you're bringing a gift. But that's weird to me too, Jack.
I think what bothers me about it is like, all of this needs to be more needs-based than... I know people getting married who don't need shit. Yeah. And I know people who are going to die alone who could use a water jug.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said on our wedding, we were like, do not, under any circumstance, bring us any presents. Like, a lot of people flew from America and Australia for our wedding. People, pay for their trains, their planes, their accommodation, all that fucking shit. You've spent the money.
Do you, in lieu of gifts, donate to this charity? Because I don't think a lot of people are doing it.
No, and also, man,
Just
I
me.
don't. No. And also, that would be hypocritical of me. I can't tell other people to donate to charity if I don't fucking do it.
Okay, what if you said you took all the money and you said, hey, guys, I'm giving this all to charity. I duped you.
Interesting. Like a wedding Robin Hood.
Yeah, like a wedding Robin Hood.
Huh.
There's like a table of gifts, and then a homeless child comes in and takes
is
them.
all
And when they
going
say
to-
stop, you go, no.
all going to
That's what I
Turning
planned.
Point.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
homeless kid needs
Turning Point USA.
This is all going to Turning Point.
Do you have this got to stop?
Yes. I got two.
Go.
One is anonymous social media needs to end. Every single social media website you should have have an account. It should have to be a picture of your face. It should have to be your passport details. It should have to be not your home address for the public to find, but it should all be in there, and all the social media should be connected.
Yeah,
to this.
I love this in theory. So let's ask some questions. So porn.
So porn, no.
Porn, no.
Porn's not social media.
Okay.
Porn's not. I'm going to go and have an opinion, and I'm going to go and say these.
Speak for yourself.
If you
You're one of the
think
guys in the comments.
Always in the comments, just all day long.
I've never thought
is a good one.
There's never a lonelier person than the person commenting on porn.
Oh.
I can't imagine.
I have to mention it's 17 guys.
Yeah.
So they're just I'm doing all the commenting.
Is it post nut? Like
That's
is
what
it,
we talked about that once because I've always think that too. Like I think I would guess 90% post nut commenting
but
about.
my post nut comment's going to be much
my-
meaner than my
Sure,
mid-shirt.
you're beautiful. If it's like,
Get this
if
away
the
from
comments have
me.
a timestamp,
I'm
2 minutes later.
disgusting. I'm a disgusting monster.
You're
Like,
beautiful. You're amazing. I'll do anything for you. 2 minutes later.
Look what you made me do! Look what you made me do!
I read an article that I do want to send, even though you don't read them, but it's about the gooning community.
Oh yeah.
Different from the furry community.
Yeah.
And these guys, they do like 8-hour, like part of it is they want to jerk off so long they reach a new state of bliss.
God.
And I think that they're commenting because they have more opinions. They have more time. They have more to compare it to.
Jesus Christ.
If you think there should be an address attached to every social media account, you should have performed in Riyadh.
Yeah.
Because the government agrees with that exactly. I agree that anonymity has created like insanity and people behaving in a way that's so nuts, but there's no way to give your address without it being weaponized by the government.
Maybe let's take the address thing there. I don't want it to be misconstrued with like doxing or whatever. What I mean it to be is I think all your social media should be connected to each other so that if you get like a really viral tweet about something, I can then be like, has this cunt lied before? And your entire social media is like, yeah, they run this account which is all bullshit, they do this account which is all bullshit. I can read all of you don't just look. One of the reasons why elections are fucked around the world is because Russia, because India, because Saudi Arabia have bought farms where it's just anonymous people. They're so social divide by going into the comments of any fucking video and driving engagement by winding each other up. You take that away from these countries by making sure that everyone and look, of course the government would be able to abuse the system, but I challenge you to find any system in this country that the government hasn't found a way to abuse.
Sure, I don't fully disagree. I just like the issues that would arise. I agree. Would you be willing? All your burner accounts.
I
where
don't
you
have
reply
any
to
burner accounts.
Well, you can still look. I'm not saying that.
But I'm saying like it does. Like we say separate from porn, but that is what they're doing with porn in certain states in America.
In the UK, you got to do a face scan to log into porn.
My
and that's
Which, by the way, which you can get past with a VPN, by the way. But also,
of course, yeah.
And it's so mental because that's such a right wing thing, and for the centre government of the UK to be doing it is absolutely mental. I tell you what, I've not wanked at home for a long time. That's maybe it's a secret tactic for them to be like, porn is bad.
Yeah.
And a way to reduce the amount that people are watching porn is to make them scan their face beforehand. Because I've definitely jerked it so much less to porn since that came out. Because I'm never ever scanning my face to have a wow.
What searches are you no longer doing?
What like specific websites?
Yeah. No. I'm saying like are you still like If I were scanning my face, I mean, I'm probably doing less stepmom searches. I'm just making it more like
Nude women.
normal sex.
Yeah, just
whatever you think that is.
Normal sex compilation.
Yeah.
Normal sex compilation.
Yeah, that would be the only thing.
Woman almost having an orgasm compilation.
Hyper realistic. All the comments underneath are from women because the video ended 7 minutes early.
Yeah.
They were like, I almost enjoyed this.
Yeah.
It was actually 3 minutes too short.
What's your? This got to stop.
I know you said nothing about planes, but this is
fine.
This is going to paint me in a terrible, terrible light. This is pure privilege. Stop interrupting the movie or any of the media
For the announcement.
for the announcements, for the safety thing. I'm going to die. Don't stop playing the safety video. It doesn't matter. We all know we're dead. Stop wasting my time so you can sneak a fucking advert in there for something else. Stop interrupting the television for especially if I'm in business class.
Yeah.
If I'm in business class,
There comes the privilege right there.
yeah.
We could have made this a universal policy.
no, like,
I don't care, Ellis, Coach.
The masses have to understand that they might be missing their next. If I'm in business class, tap me on the shoulder and tell me what the thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what it is that's so annoying is that you go, none of us are paying attention. You're not giving us information that helps survive.
No.
You're only doing this so that we can't sue in case we get injured and somehow live.
Yeah.
So you're interrupting the movie to just make sure we can't sue you.
Oh, and it's fucking constant. The worst one is the worst one in the world is any fucking international flight to anywhere in the Emirates, right? Because they do an announcement in English and they fucking pause the movie and you're like, shut the fuck up. And then they hang up the phone and you're like, great. And then they pass it to their Arabic mate and you just have to listen to the fucking translation.
Yeah.
And then it's in fucking French and you're like, I'm trying to watch. Nobody cares. Nobody's listening.
No.
Nobody's listening.
If you're rich, no interruptions, and all one language, please, and English.
Do it in Arabic. Do it all in Arabic. I'm not listening to the English one. You know.
You should be able to check a box. Listen, if
Yeah.
I die, I die. I'm not going to sue the airline.
Yeah. My family aren't allowed to sue.
All right, let's go. Final blessing. We'll do discuss stuff later.
Yeah.
My blessing is the furpocalypse. They were so nice. They made me a stool. They gave me a gift basket. It just felt like some nice people that they thought it was cool that someone comes and goes like, I'll make jokes. And also it's that thing of like, I'll make. Sometimes I think with these communities, like they want someone who will make dark jokes.
Yes.
And in a way that isn't like, and you're weird.
Yeah,
they want it. They want a better joke than you're weird. And I'm like, I'll make a dark joke.
Yeah.
So I'm very appreciative. I appreciate the community, and thanks for having me. Blessing.
My blessing, I want to give a special shout out to the producers and company management of Ginger Twinsies. I've been able to, now that I'm out of a show, go to see some shows for free, and it's been really nice to go and see some live theater. I have not done it in a long time. So I've been having a lot of fun with that, so thank you to them.
Daniel, what's your blessing?
I'm very grateful for the Soho Playhouse. It was the first venue I ever played when I was in America, and like that first time I played there, I think I played to like 20 people on the first night, 30 on the second, 40 on the third, and it slowly grew. But they've always had me back. They've always, when it comes to visa applications, helped me. I've developed a relationship. Like whenever I come back, the staff know me. It's
Yeah,
really,
they've told me some stories.
Yeah. I mean, I used to have some fucked years there. I used to. The reason they stock Scotch is because I yelled at them, and not real yelling, but had one of my air quotes funny rants about how bourbon is not whiskey. And
One of Sloss's classic funny rants. Funny rants that you have to delete off your phone right now because he's going to use that as material. Where can people find you?
But Sloss is an uncommon second. I've made sure that all the other Daniel Slosses are so far down the fucking list. There's a hurler in Scotland. There's some poor guy in New Zealand who for a long time tried to like get the internet websites before maybe we beat him to everything. It's just Daniel Sloss.
Great.
Where can people find you?
At Russell J. Daniels on Instagram.
And for me, I'm on tour. Just join the Patreon, patreon.com/downside. Thank you very much.
Downside.
That was a Headgum podcast.